Good morning, boys and girls. Ms Barb here. I have another story for the week. It is called Crow Boy. Crow Boy is written by Taro Yasamima. I have the boy. Ooh, this is his finger on a tree stump. Ooh, it's a crow. I wonder what the crow is saying to the boy, or the boy saying to the crow. He looks happy with his big eyes. Crow Boy. Let's do our vocab and we'll read and see why it says Crow Boy. Is he a crow or is this the crow? Let's do our vocab. The first word is called nickname. Nickname is, is a special name given to someone instead of their real name. My name is Barb, but they call me Barbie. It is my nickname. Nickname. And then I have the word tacked. Tacked is to hang up on the wall with a pin or a tack. It is tacked on the wall. Imitate. Imitate is to do something the same way as someone else. Whatever the father does, the boy does. He copies whatever the father does. Imitate. This one is honored. Honored is to be treated special in some way. He did something very good that he gave him a medal or a reward. They honored him. And then I have perfect attendance. It's when you don't miss any school or maybe you don't miss any work. You have perfect attendance. And this one, we said it is furloughed. Furloughed is when you're sad or unhappy. Furloughing. Those are our words. Let's read our story now called Crow Boy. On the first day of school in Japan, there was a boy missing. He was found hidden under a dark space underneath the schoolhouse. None of us knew him. He was nicknamed Chibi because he was very small. Chibi means tiny boy. Oh, we got sticky pages today. This strange boy was afraid of our teacher and could not learn a thing. He was afraid of the children and could not make friends with them at all. He was left alone in the study time. He was left alone in the playtime. He was always at the end of the line of the class, a furlong little tag-along. Soon Chubby began to make his eyes cross over, back and forth, so he was able not to see whatever he did not want to see. And Chibi found many ways, one after another, to kill time and amuse himself. Just the ceiling was amazing enough for him to watch for hours. The wooden top of his desk was another interesting thing to watch. A patch of cloth on a boy's shoulder was something to study. Of course, the window showed him many things all year round. Even when it went raining, the window had surprising things to show. On the playground, if you close his eyes and listen, Shubi could hear many different sounds, near and far. And Shubi could hold and watch insects and grubs that most of us wouldn't touch or even look at. So that not only the children in our class, but the older ones and even the younger ones called him stupid and slowpoke. But slowpoke or not, day after day, Chubby came trudging to school. He always carried the same lunch, a rice ball wrapped in a radish leaf. Even when it rained or stormed, he still came trudging along, wrapped in a raincoat made from dried zebra grass. And so, day by day, 5 years went by, and we were in the 6th grade, the last class in school. Our new teacher was Mr. Isobi. He was a friendly man with a kind smile. Mr. Isobi often took his class to the hilltop behind the school. He was pleased to learn that Shubi knew all the places where the wild grapes and wild potatoes grew. He was amazed to find how Shubi knew about all the flowers in our class garden. He liked Shuby's black and white drawings and tacked them up on the wall to be admired. He liked Shuby's handwriting, which no one but Shuby could read, and he tacked that on the wall also. And he often spent time talking with Shuby when no one was around. But when Shuby appeared on the stage at the talent show of that year, no one believed his eyes. Who is that? What can that stupid do up there? Until Mr. Asobi announced that Shuby was going to imitate the voices of crows. Crow voices. First, he imitated the voice of a newly hatched crow, and then he made the mother's crow voice. Then he imitated the father's crow voice. He showed how crows cry early in the morning, and showed how crows cried when the village people had some unhappy accidents. He showed how crows call when they are happy and gay. Everyone's mind was taken to the far mountainside from which Shuby probably came to school. At the end, to imitate a crow on an old tree, Shuby made very special sounds deep in his throat. Quack, quack. Now everybody could imagine the far and lonely place where Shuby lived with his family. Then Mr. Asobi explained how Shuby had learned these calls, leaving his home for school at dawn and arriving home at sunset every day for 6 long years. Every one of us cried, thinking how we had been wrong to Shuby all these long years. Even grown-ups wiped their eyes, saying, "Yes, yes, he is wonderful." Soon after that came graduation day. Shuby was the only one in our class honored for perfect attendance through all the 6 years. Crowboy would nod and smile as he liked the name, and when his work was done, he would buy a few things for his family. Then he would set off to his home on the far side of the mountain, stretching his growing shoulders proudly like a grown-up man. And from around the turn of the mountain road would come a crow call, the happy one. That is my story of Crowboy, a boy who was once sad and alone, and at the end, he had lots of friends. Yes, Crowboy by Taro Yashimimo. See you next week.